Hey guys, it's Felicia Z, and on today's segment I'm going to show you how to make a lemon pound cake. All my dry ingredients are in here, which is cake flour, a little bit of cornstarch, salt, and baking powder, and I'm just going to mix this to distribute the ingredients evenly. Sift everything out on parchment paper or bowl, doesn't matter. And push whatever doesn't go through on its own through the sieve. The butter and the eggs must be at room temperature because I'm not using any milk, and what will happen is that they will begin to curdle and you'll have to probably mix a little longer than you would like to, so just make sure they're at room temperature before it goes into your mixing bowl.
Now it's time to zest the lemon. The goal is to get the zest, the skin, without getting the white pith. We'll move the lemon forward in a rotating motion. Avoid making the lemon go back and forth. Tap against an unbreakable surface, preferably not the glass plate that I'm using, to get the remaining bits off the micrograter. Add the room temperature butter, the sugar, and the lemon zest, and combine on low speed for about, I would say, 10 to 20 seconds. Stop the mixer, scrape down the bowl, and add the lemon juice. Now on speed 4, allow the sugar and butter to cream for about, I would say, 3 minutes. If you're using a handheld mixer, you'd have to probably take it up a notch. I'm using speed 4 on my KitchenAid mixer. As the mixing continues, you'll notice that the mixture is lightening, and this is good because you're incorporating air into the batter. For those of you who've already made cakes, then you're getting a head start. This is just a refresher course for you. So after 3 minutes, I'm going to stop the mixer and scrape down the bowl. Now this is where I alternate between the flour and the eggs, and I'm going to do this in 3 batches. Remember, my moistening agents are the eggs. By omitting the milk, my pound cake will have a dense, close-knit crumb structure, which is a characteristic of a pound cake. Mix just enough until you no longer see the flour, and then stop the mixer and scrape down the bowl. Because there are 3 eggs in the recipe, you can either scramble them and divide them between the batches, or add 2 the first time and 1 for the last batch. But the most important thing is that they have to be at room temperature. Mix until it's incorporated, and then you'll add the batch of flour. Also remember to scrape down the bowl between the batches. Stop the mixer, scrape down the bowl if you need to, add the egg, and just when everything comes together, you'll stop the mixer again, scrape down the bowl, and add the last batch of flour.
So I'm using a professional type of loaf pan, and this is by USA Pan. If you're interested, the information is linked below the video. This has been coated with baking spray and also lined with a strip of parchment paper.
Because the batter is thick, you're going to need to use an offset spatula to spread the batter through the pan and push it into the corners. This just came out of the oven, and you'll notice that the edges are darker than the cake itself. The split on the cake is also indicative of a pound cake. This was put into the oven at 325 degrees About 45 minutes in, I checked to make sure the cake was baking well and adjusted my time from there. If you love to have icing on your pound cake, I know I do, all you have to do is take a cup of confectioner's sugar, place it in a small saucepan over medium heat, and add about a tablespoon of lemon juice. Continue whisking until it all comes together. As soon as you get a thin consistency, you can remove the saucepan from the heat. The icing must be drizzled over the cake immediately after it's removed from the heat source. If it starts to harden up, just warm it up again and start drizzling. Now to cut into the cake and look at the crumb texture. The cake is dense and the crumbs are very close-knit, and remember, this is characteristic of a pound cake. Thank you again for watching my segment. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.